Hey everybody, this is Perch. We've been following kind of the titles that went into hiatus and didn't come back through COVID, particularly from Marvel. Most titles have returned, although in many cases some quietly, like Runaways, just kind of appeared out of nowhere a little bit and then got back into the swing of things. I think there was a major opportunity lost by Marvel. To a lesser extent DC, but absolutely Marvel, who had more time away. There's kind of this I don't know if I'd call it arrogant. That's too strong a word, but there's this almost assumption of hey, the fans are just there, they're waiting for us, and when we're ready, when we're ready, they'll be ready. And here are the comics. There has been a very little of a hey, remember what's going on, kind of a reach out behavior. There was a little kind of reminding people comic that came out, but it was very poorly recapped, and in many cases didn't really actually follow what was going on in the comics. Dropped all the subplots. It was a weird piece of comic that came out. But the news is here that yes, Black Panther has returned, or is returning rather. That it will be back in February of 2021, and it's going to go for somewhere less than 6 issues before the series actually ends. So the comic was very close to being at an end. Ta-Nehisi Coates' run was nearly finished off. He had been working with Daniel Acuna, and we're now supposed to get somewhere around. Again, it's unclear, but there's at least probably 4 issues left or so of the Black Panther series before it wraps up. And where that title sits is Black Panther, when it was rebooted or relaunched, not rebooted, too many re's. Ta-Nehisi Coates was doing a run on Black Panther. Parts of that were adapted to the movie. There was a lot of world building going on in that with Wakanda and other pieces. Had very mixed reactions in terms of sales. Critical attention was high, but sales were mixed to low. And so they relaunched the series with more of a sci-fi bend to it, where Ta-Nehisi Coates sent Black Panther off into the international kingdom of Wakanda, some kind of weird shadow version of Wakanda in this intergalactic space, where this splinter group is trying to rule the cosmos and be very warlike. You know, what would have been a good idea, by the way, in all this is if Guardians of the Galaxy, or say other comics that have space aspects to them, would have touched on the fact that there was a giant intergalactic empire of Wakanda that was militant and wanted to rule the space. That would have been a good idea for somebody else to tie into it, so it didn't all feel like it was just happening within this book. But I digress. At any rate, Black Panther got back to Earth, and then now the intergalactic empire is coming to Earth to do something. But it has been a kind of anyway. Storm is in this series. We've got Shuri. We've got a lot of other people. How this all fits with Storm, breaking in to steal the magic sword, nobody knows, but she is hanging out with nobody knows. Anyway, whatever. We've got a huge, massive threat coming to the Earth, and Black Panther's rallying the troops like Rodney and Rhodey, and Luke Cage and Riri Williams and Brother Voodoo and Storm. Now, hang on a second. What? Maybe if something's coming to destroy the Earth, you should get like all the Avengers on it and not just collect all the black superheroes. Like Nick Fury's in here and Miles Morales. I get it, but maybe you want to call the Hulk on this one. Maybe Thor would be a good idea. You have a big thing coming to destroy Earth and take over it. Maybe you want to get everybody involved. I don't know. It's just me. I would get everyone involved. I would not use it as an opportunity to only call the other black superheroes to the mix. But anyway, what are you gonna do? So Black Panther is returning, but there's a number of other Marvel comics that are not. So we have currently Darkhold, which was a thing that Marvel was pushing, and then now with the Sins Rising storyline and everything that's happened to Amazing Spider-Man, that title is probably MIA to dead. We have this Punisher versus Barracuda book that was scheduled to come out, which people were looking forward to. That was, I believe, going to bring Barracuda actually into the MCU proper. There was a Morbius book that was out and is kind of in nobody knows where that is. There was an American Chavez book that was scheduled to come out that is still on hiatus. And then the one that everybody really remembers and keeps coming up that never actually launched was New Warriors, a book that editorial wanted to have done and hired a writer who came in to do it and then got made fun of constantly. So there was that. There was a couple other little limited series in there, the Marvels, Infinite Destinies. There was that, my favorite book, How to Read Comics the Marvel Way, which was going to actually teach you how to read comics the way Marvel would like you to read them. That book is still MIA, and that's probably a good thing. Anyway, a handful of others, but generally speaking, Marvel has brought back or rescheduled or put back on the list the books that were gone, that disappeared for a couple months. And in many cases, if Runaways is any indication, they're just going to kind of come back, and I guess we're just going to kind of forget that they were paused. And you're going to read them, and that will be super. So that's cool. Maybe a chance to kind of reintroduce some things. I don't know. That's what I would do, but I'm crazy here. We are getting, this is not a book that was delayed, but we're getting a third Marvel Voices anthology. Basically looking at kind of some of the diverse characters in the Marvel Universe who do not get a lot of regular attention in their own books. Characters like Miles Morales and Miss Marvel and Storm. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. We're getting Marvel Voices Legacy, which will spotlight on marginalized communities and characters that have not gotten a lot of attention in their own books. That will feature Storm, Miss Marvel, and Miles Morales. That doesn't make sense. They have their own books. All right. Well, anyway, it will also feature Monica Rambeau, which I'm super pumped about. That'll be exciting to see. Jubilee is going to be in there. Blade is going to be in there, and some others. And it will feature a relatively new group of creators for Marvel. We'll get Hoche Anderson, Nady Akhtar, Tashi Alberki, Danny Lore, Stephanie Williams, Sean Hill, Valentine Delandro, Ken Lashley, Chris Allen, and more. So this is going to be an ongoing kind of series. I'm not sure. Again, here's what I would do, Marvel. If I'm you and I'm creating this kind of anthology, this is the third one, the third anthology you're doing. Since you're going to be doing these regularly, I would suggest you go ahead and like number them and have it be like a quarterly release or something like that people can kind of get behind and understand, as opposed to kind of these random one-off issues that come and you got to re-educate the shops and the customers that they exist every time. You're basically creating an uphill battle for yourself every time you put these things out. And these are important stories, and they're going to feature some new characters that maybe you want to get some more recognition and spotlight on. You should give yourself every opportunity to actually accomplish that. But anyway, this thing is coming out in February, and it's going to be called Marvel's Voices Legacy #1, which is the third volume in the Marvel Voices anthology. So if you got all that, so Volume 3, Marvel Voices Legacy 1. Yeah, rolls right off the tongue. It's absolutely a killer plan. So at any rate, that's a little bit of what we've got coming up with Marvel. We have some series like Black Panther and Runaways that is finally starting to come back and get back on the schedule. Of course, we already heard that Children of the Atom is coming out, and they've been adding new books aplenty as well. Overall, I think, Marvel, DC benefits from the fact they do have this digital first platform they're trying to put out, so that's an area where they can put some things in. They can reuse some of the artwork and some of what's been produced for, say, the Generations or Future State bit. Marvel doesn't have that same ability, so it remains to be seen if some of this stuff's going to happen. I would stand by my prediction. New Warriors, you will see it out in the market at some point. It is going to come out, and so I know a lot of people who are anxious to make those videos are All right, that's good news for them. There's some content coming for you. No worries. Anyway, are any of these books up your alley? Are you excited to read any of them? Listen to them, listen to them. What are you excited by? Let me know in the comments below. What have you been missing that Marvel said they were going to do, but they haven't yet done? This is where there's some people throwing some jokes, I can tell. Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, but most importantly, thanks for listening.